Hello, everyone, and welcome to Scarred Sins of Shelzar, Dead Man's Rest, Season 2, Episode 8. I have the wrong name there, but that's okay. I'll fix that later. I am Travis Legge, your Dungeon Master, Game Master, Story Guide. I can never keep track all the hats that we wear when we're telling stories. And we are going to hop in here and get right back into our tale momentarily. But before we do, a couple things I want to make you aware of. Obviously, the reason that we're here to celebrate the Scarred Lands is because Dead Man's Rest is available for pre-order on BackerKit. BackerKit's actually down at the moment, but that doesn't mean I can't share the link with you and you can't go visit it later. As I just discovered when I opened it momentarily. But yeah, it is available despite the maintenance for a pre-order on BackerKit. If you back it there, you get full access to the manuscript, and you can start enjoying your adventure in the Hornsaw Forest and Gleaming Valley right away. Speaking of things that are available for pre-order, we have 16 hours remaining on the Trinity Continuum Anima Kickstarter. We're 978 backers, and I believe, looks like we just unlocked another stretch goal for, what was that big one that we just hit? Let's see. I'm just digging through them. Looks like we unlocked the streaming overlay set, so that's neat. And if we can get to 55,000, which is just about, let's see, it's about 1,500 away. We will unlock a companion book for Anima. If you haven't had the chance to do so, I would highly recommend heading either into our VODs or over to the Onyx Path YouTube channel and checking out the various Anima actual plays. This game is super fun. It's cyberpunk, set the Trinity Continuum, but there's also a lit RPG element in a game within a game where the players are playing part of an MMO. So it is really super cool. It's super fun. The rules around generating that MMO experience are a hoot. So I definitely recommend checking that out. Back it while you can. We're running out of time. So if you're waiting for the last minute, as Stanley Spadowski said, this is it. It's the last minute. The other thing that's up for pre-order right now is Trinity Continuum Assassins, which is set in the modern period, basically runs parallel to Trinity Continuum Core, but focuses on people who make the world a brighter and better place through murder and mayhem. And that you can actually go pre-order right on DriveThruRPG. And when you pre-order it, you immediately get access to the manuscript that's available so far. They'll be rolling out the rest of the manuscript updates for the duration of the pre-order, and then you'll just get your finished PDF when it's done. So isn't that awesome? A whole new way to support and get your hands on cool Trinity Continuum stuff. I highly recommend checking that out. The last thing that I need to pay the bills with, as it were, is I just want to make sure to let everyone know that the Technocracy Reloaded Mage 20th Anniversary Edition Jumpstart is now available in POD and PDF over at DriveThruRPG. This one's near and dear to my heart. I was the developer on it. I did a little bit of writing on it. And I worked with a very dear friend of mine, Lewis Harris, on it, who you might know from, like, the Diablo remaster. He was narrative lead on that. Worked on the Hunt to the Reckoning games for Xbox back in the day. Anyway, short story long, it's set in our hometown of Rockford, Illinois. It's a big, fun, wonderful adventure, and it contains everything that you need to jump right into the world of Mage the Ascension 20th Anniversary Edition. So I would love it if you'd go pick that up and leave nice words in the ratings and reviews. Now that all that is done, we can get back to the reason for the season, which is we are picking back up when last our adventurers met. after an altercation with, correct me if I'm wrong, it was a Blood Reaper that inspired you to teleport to the nearest cold area, which was one of the mountaintops near the Gleaming Valley.
Yep.
While
Totally
there,
was not afraid of that thing at all. Everything was under control, and I don't know why we left.
exactly. And while there, Ithrin was visited by a avatar page of Frelia, the Snow Queen, the goddess of winter, and told that she was needed, but since she was also carrying a disease, she probably should get that fixed first. This inspired you all to head down the mountainside, go to the Gleaming Valley, and after speaking briefly with one of the Hollow Knights, you came to the conclusion that maybe it was best to quarantine outside of the city walls for now. The rest of the party, as you had separated in the Hornsaw Forest, were hot on your trail, and by the time they made it to where you had this altercation with the Blood Reaper, all of the people you had been traveling with, save one, were dead, and the one that was left alive, one of the Broadreach elves, just kind of shot in the face of precaution because they didn't realize that they were
Don't bring it up,
undead.
Travis.
So they got taken out like they were the protagonist of a George Romero film.
And we'll never know.
And you'll never know. That's the best part. The characters are like, no, this is fine. They just killed a zombie. But all the players are like,
was in this.
Exactly. And having said that, you made your way back to the camp outside of Equius to inform Ravenna, the Hollow Legionnaire Centurion, of your discoveries, at which point you all were going to start making your way to the Gleaming Valley. Does that sound like a fairly up-to-date? Anything I missed? Any questions, comments, complaints, or concerns before we dive in?
No, I think sounds good.
All right, let's dive in. So, the journey from Equius to the Gleaming Valley is relatively uneventful. You may all, as a group, enjoy 8 days worth of downtime. So just kind of going around, let's start things off with Haiku. Is there anything that you wanted to focus on during that travel, during that downtime?
And you come back to me.
I absolutely can.
Okay.
Charlie, do you have anything that you wanted to focus on, work on, try to accomplish during that downtime of travel?
Don't think so.
Wonderful. Ithrin, while you also have some downtime, and I assume you were staying were you planning on staying in the tents until the others arrived, or were you planning on doing something else?
So I am planning on staying in the tents, but also because you'll let me take a level of cleric at the last level up, Ithrin's going to spend her time trying to figure out like what exactly that means, like meditating and praying and just sort of, the soul searching that one would expect.
Sure. As you are entering into meditations and prayers, as a druid, you're not unfamiliar with the idea of communing with another being. At the end of the day, on Skarn, druids are effectively worshippers of Denev.
Mhm.
So you kind of have some experience in that communal relationship. I would assume that a lot of your meditations and prayers previously would be accompanied with sensations or even visions relating to nature.
I mean, she would probably also be like, "Hey, Denev, we still cool, right?"
I mean, you get about as much answer from Denev as you normally would get. But the principal difference that you discover in this is there's a lot of wintry imagery, much more than you've ever encountered before. For example, if you're meditating, you summon an image of a grove in your mind. that grove. The leaves are dying or dead. There's snow on the ground, things like that. You feel sort of little bursts of cold during your prayers, things along those lines. And you also start getting sort of this sensation of a pull to the north. Like, you know, there's something in the north is calling to you. Not so much in a like, holy shit, things are on fire, get here now. But like, you are starting to feel like your fate is ultimately going to point you northward, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Excellent. And did you have any questions about the addition of cleric? Did you have any system stuff? What domain did you wind up going with?
What domain did I? No subclass pick yet.
Oh, beautiful. Do you have by chance a copy of I'll send you a copy of Voices of the Snow.
Neat.
So that you can look at the at that subclass. But while I'm getting ready to do that, let me bounce back to Haiku. Did you find something that you
Yeah. Are there like any like shops nearby? Like magical shops?
your only real chance to shop before you get to the Gleaming Valley is going to be if you go into Equius to shop, like when you first leave, which you are welcome to do if you'd like.
We keep on getting separated or like lost and losing connection. So I would like something that's like either easier to communicate with each other, or at least if I can't find that, maybe something that's just helpful in combat, like some kind of item that's not like, I'm a little squishy, I guess. It's not armor, but just, I don't know, maybe something that could help me.
Can any of us cast Sending?
I cannot.
What is that a cleric only spell?
It's a wizard spell as well, and sorcerer too, I believe, and bard.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would be
Most
very
most arc-
surprised if bards can't do it.
bards cheat. They can do whatever they want.
Have
Pretty
sending.
much. You have Sunday?
Yeah. I recently have sending. Like, I haven't just been fucking
Sitting on
around
it.
here with sending all this time. Like,
Ooh.
bitches, nobody asked, so I ain't doing it.
Pay the tide.
Or
Okay.
maybe something that could be like easier
Hold
to
on.
like, so we don't have to like waste a spell slot or something,
If we have the ability to cast Sending, I could give us Sending tattoos. Potentially.
Don't we need like money though? Or don't you have all the equipment you need?
I probably have depending on how much Travis says it would be worth to have a Sending. I probably have the inks.
So you're wanting to make Sending tattoos?
Yeah, I'm just curious, like, what you think that would cost. But
Well,
we
Well,
talked about it like a spell scroll. It cost, I think, was what we had talked about.
yeah, you could always purchase basically a scroll for each tattoo you would build. That would be one way to do it. Another option would be so Sending stones are uncommon. There's normally two to a set. So I would say you could do it as an uncommon tattoo, just a generic uncommon tattoo.
What would
For
be
each person that
the
you
so what's
tattoo.
the cost of an uncommon tattoo?
I've sent you a
I'm
thing
sorry
for that multiple times.
It's
know it off the top of my head.
Yeah. It's
I think it's-
in.
I thought I sent it to you in
Hack Inc.
Discord. Oh no, it would be in. I'm pretty sure it's in
Xanathar's.
Xanathar's.
Yeah.
But aside from that, though, while you're working on that math, there are two options that you can purchase in this magic shop in Equius. They do have sets of sending stones. Those sets of sending stones it's just a pair, and they're directly connected. So they don't necessarily let you speak to a person so much as they let you speak to whoever's holding the other stone.
Okay.
That is one option.
What are the chances y'all get separated and both stones are in the same place? It's
Very
never
low.
happened. Never
Yeah.
happens. It won't happen. No, it's fine.
Exactly. So those sending stones would be oh hey, you know what I should do? You can tell that I'm planning on not doing a whole lot of combat today because I haven't opened Astral yet.
Oh,
I knew I was forgetting one tab.
Indeed, it happens to the best of us. So per set of sending stones here, you are looking at a cost of 300 gold.
Hmm.
The other option is
To steal them.
you can get
You know
a
me.
set of rings of the pack. These are much more affordable, but much less utilitarian. What rings of the pack do is they're basically simple bands of silver that are engraved with intricate designs on them. Oftentimes, they're made by organizations, like the Vigils of Vesh, for example, crank these out left and right. And what they do is they're bound to one another. So while you're wearing one of the rings, you can use a bonus action to sense any of the other wearers who are attuned to the other rings, as long as they are within 1 mile of you. Their location is revealed and whether they're moving, and if so, what direction they're moving in. So it's a way to, it's not so much a outright communications tool as it is a way of knowing exactly where all of your cohorts are.
And our party fund is 100 platinum and 1,000 gold.
Oh, damn. I forgot we have that.
So
As for the cost of the rings of the pack, each individual ring will cost 2 gold. I'm sorry, 20 gold.
Oh, I was like, what a bargain. Cheap, cheap.
What a bargain. All right. So
A good deal.
That's a good deal. So that's like, so for like 1, 2, 3, 4. So 5 of them, that you said 20 gold?
That's correct. Yeah, 20 gold each.
That could be helpful in other scenarios. I think I'm gonna buy, because there's 5 of us, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, I don't count. It's fine.
And Iocles.
It's fine. It's cool.
Like we just met you.
It's been like
Yeah.
a month.
You're like
I've lived
dying.
your
though.
lives.
Yeah.
Nice.
You're like dying though.
I'm not
you know?
We're supposed to be-
invested in
Like
a
we're supposed
ring
to be
that's
cool. We're cool by now, right?
just
Like,
going
we
to
like
rust
each other
off
and stuff.
of you when your body falls apart.
It's their fault. You can't drop 20 gold for me at this point.
Nah.
Oh, You're all mean. Ithrin has the money.
Well, that would be helpful if Ithrin was not in the Gleaming Valley. So, are you going to buy 6 rings of the pack or only 5?
Fine, 5.
I'm messing with you.
Excellent.
I can.
Excellent. Go ahead and buy those 5. And are you buying any sending stones or no?
I am going to come back the last day and steal them.
Okay. Just real quick, go ahead and give me a sleight of hand check. We'll see. We'll see if you steal them.
So I
You
would
know,
like
it's Mike's
to.
birthday, so he has advantage, right?
What?
Is it your birthday?
It's Mike's birthday, so he has
Are
advantage.
you lying to me about Mike's birthday so that he can get advantage?
But also, I have chameleon skin, so I kind of have advantage anyway. You know, so I'm gonna sneak in one day, chameleon skinned up. And yeah, I'm gonna steal them sending stones.
You can try to break into the magic shop while it's closed and steal.
Was there a like ongoing business the time I was there? Like people coming in and out?
I mean, it's a busy area, so
Oh, then yeah, like during the daytime, I'm gonna come in, you know, all people are coming in and out and sneak behind somebody and take them stones.
let's see what we got here. Did you drop that sleight of hand roll?
Oh, my bad. And I have advantage on this, right?
How do you have advantage?
Oh, never mind. It's nat 20 plus 5.
Oh, yeah, you grab it.
He really wanted those.
Yeah, you absolutely pocket them.
I'll just do back out.
All right. So you have a pair of sending stones and a set of rings of the pack. Is there anything that you're doing on the journey there?
No. I guess I
Excellent.
hand out the rings to everyone that's with me so far. And explain, you know, just in case we get lost again, if we're like within like at least a mile radius, we know where each other's at.
All right, those do require attunement. So I don't know what everybody's attunement burdens are right now, but for them to function, they need to be attuned.
What was the effect other than locate person? Was there anything else?
Where they are and if they're moving.
Okay.
And it's at a range of a mile. I don't know what locate person is.
Yeah, that's basically it. Yeah, so it's either going to be a base cost of 501 work week, which I don't know how many days that actually is. Because I need to divide. Yeah.
How many days is in a work week? 8. Because you're in Scarlands.
All right.
8 days. 8 days a week.
Well, that's convenient because I 1/8 that. So it would be 1 day.
Right.
And 125 gold worth of ink to give us a tattoo that would allow us to cast sending once per day.
And that is using the inks that you got from the elves, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you had what, like 300 gold worth of that?
Yeah, so I could do 2.
Do we want to blow that on this though?
I
You
mean,
could potentially boost somebody up so they can be like a beast in combat too, you know?
true. I mean,
'Cause wasn't there, like, a thing once you
alternatively,
give
alternatively, I could
I'll-
give either one of you like an invisibility cloak tattoo, probably.
Oh, damn. That's pretty baller too.
But yeah, I don't know. That's the problem. We don't know what we want. We don't make these choices before we get to the 8 days worth of downtime. So
Let's. What else? What else can we do with tattoos? And also, what's the ring called again? Ring of the what?
Rings of the Pack.
Of the pack. Okay. No results found.
The Rings of the Pack are in the Scarlands Player's Guide.
Gotcha. Okay. I will just keep that in mind. Because wasn't there like a tattoo you wanted to give Olin about to like make her like hit like 1,000,000 times?
Well, I mean, I still have haste as well.
Well, you're looking at 1 work day per tattoo, right?
Yep.
So
For
if you're
third
doing
level
sending
spell.
so there's 3 of you that are in the travel that would actually be getting this tattoo, right? Because the other 2 are up in the Gleaming Valley.
Yeah. I mean, that's one potential. Do we want to do that? I mean, if Charlie already has the ability to cast sending, but I don't think it's not a sorcerer spell and it's not a warlock spell, I don't believe. No, bard, cleric,
Correct.
wizard, peace.
And you do have what was I gonna? You have no, totally lost it. Oh, you don't need you have someone who can cast the spell, so you don't need to purchase the scroll. You don't need to
Right.
buy spell casting services, but you can only make as many, no matter how fast you can reduce it with your
Yeah, I can only do it as many spell slots that
you can
are
only do
available.
it as often as Charlie can cast it.
But that's once per day. So
Right, but what I'm saying though is, I mean, you can only build 1 tattoo a day, regardless of anything else.
Yeah.
Because
even if I got it quicker than once a day. Yeah, I understand.
I like the idea of like the invisibility tattoo, but I also don't want to like waste anything that like could be used for somebody else.
I mean, it's I'm
Say we get
effectively
haiku a gift
considering
of
it.
Gab tattoo.
What was that?
I say we get Haiku a gift of Gab tattoo.
If you have the spell, you can do it.
I have it.
What is that?
You can skillfully reshape the memories of listeners in your immediate area that each creature of your choice within 5 feet of you forgets everything you said within the last 6 seconds. Those creatures then remember that you actually said the words you speak as the verbal component of the spell.
Oh,
So
that's
when you say something that fucks you,
an Acquisition Zinc thing, I think. That's a fun
It's a-
spell.
dark magic. Yeah, Jim, dark magic spell.
Yeah.
Kind of baller too. I have high charisma, so I could get away with it.
That reminds me of what we do in the shadows. It was like, you have seen nothing.
have you picked up any of the Scarlands bard stuff? Alibi is really cool, and there's another one. Can't remember the name of it. I'll look it up. But there's a spell where basically everyone around you hears a conversation that's not the conversation that you're having when you cast it.
That one.
I just realized I'm wearing a green shirt in front of a green screen.
You could very well be a floating head.
That would be awesome.
Look fine in the
I
stream.
will give me, and I mean, I have like 700 gold worth of tattoo inks from various places that we visited along the way. I've kind of just considered it party fund because I need to make art in order to like qualify for the next level of my tattoo adept class anyway. So like, I would probably do it just to do it. If I knew that Charlie could cast sending, then I would probably be like, okay, I'm tired of these people splitting off, not telling us where they're going. We're going to do it. At least we'll all be able to keep in contact now.
Yeah, that's cool too. So we can do that.
I still have enough to do probably something like a haste or a greater invisibility, or an invisibility cloak. So invisibility cloak was an uncommon magic item, right?
Sure. Probably,
said-
yeah. I would assume so. Yeah.
I'll go look it up.
I think it's a major, but I still think it's uncommon. If it's a thing. Is it a thing?
Cloak of invisibility. Legendary.
Legendary item.
I think you're thinking of a cloak of elven kind.
Yeah, Cloak of Elvenkind
It
is
was
the
Sending
uncommon one.
Stone that was the uncommon one. That recently you said something was uncommon and it tripped in my mind.
Yeah, and a cloak of elven kind is uncommon if you wanted to go for something like that, which
Just
gives disadvantage to perception checks made to spot you and gives you advantage on stealth checks made to hide. But you're not like,
Yeah.
you know, the thief
I'm down
from the
for all
D&D
catchy.
cartoon.
Yeah. But that would be probably something to give to Holland, who isn't here. So
Right. So so ultimately which tattoos are who getting? The Sending Stone tattoos? Or the Sending tattoos, I should say?
yeah,
Won't require attunement. A
It's
haste
just-
tattoo will require
Yeah. just doing Sending for me
for you, Charlie, and
Charlie can
Haiku?
cast it. So
I can cast it, so.
Just us two.
yeah, because we normally wouldn't be able to cast it. So that way we can, if we get captured, we can reach out to somebody, or if we get separated, right?
since you have access to Sending, are you going to try to reach out to your compatriots while you're on the way?
I would
and have
probably
any
test it,
conversations?
Yeah.
Okay.
but it would mainly just be like, is this thing working?
And who are you going to ask, is this thing on?
And telling them how close we are. Probably Ithrin.
Okay.
Since
So on the
Ithrin was
morning
the
of
one that
day
reached out to
3,
me.
Yeah, you are contacted by Charlon, asking if this thing's on.
And telling you that we're 5 days out. Was that what you said? It was like an 8-day travel.
Yeah. Yep.
Asking you how it's going in the quarantine zone.
Cold, but that's not a bad thing.
Agreed. Grab some glacial water for me if you get bored.
I'll see what I can do.
You get that message
I-
the next day because we can only do it once a day.
That's fair. So then jumping over to those of you who are still in the Gleaming Valley in your quarantines, or I guess, I'm sorry, working my way back around. Alocles, do you have anything that you would like to be doing during this downtime?
a couple of things. One, and I believe I mentioned this as we were signing off last time, and I rolled like a stupid, like a 26 performance check or something. But at one point,
Yes.
I did. I rolled a nat 20 for performance. But over the first couple of days, several times I'm going to take my loot out, which some people may or may not have noticed that I carry, and just kind of set it in my lap and look at it for a while, and then put it back. And I'll kind of look a little confused about it, and sometime and back and forth, and then eventually I'll start playing it a bit. But in those first few days, being kind of a person of faith myself, when I see Ithrin starting to do these meditations and stuff, one of the days I'm gonna leave the tent and go away from the city. Not breaking quarantine because I'm not an asshole, but I'm gonna go up probably about an hour back up the mountain,
Okay.
and I'll be gone about a half a day, and come back. I'll get up early in the morning one day, just be like, Ithrin, I know you didn't ask, but I recognize when someone seems to be searching, and I thought this might help if you would follow me.
Sure.
And I'm going to lead Ithrin about an hour up the mountain to where, basically in a large snowdrift, I have carved out a large section of the snow where she can sit and have like basically a wall of snow surrounding her several feet high. Or basically just like carved out like a space in the snowdrift.
She built it like an
They-
igloo, like a
Ba-
open
Basically
top
kind
igloo.
of an open top igloo, yeah. And say, I find that familiarity helps with the unknown, and I thought this may be of use.
Ithrin's eyes get really, really moist, and she's like, "No one's ever done anything this nice for me. Thank you."
Hopefully, and I'll just kind of reach up and touch one of the rust patches on my cheek. I'll say, hopefully it can be repaid. But I have a good feeling about you. Make yourself at home here. And I'll cast protection from good and evil on her, and then leave her in solitude to meditate in a more appropriate place than a military tent.
Beautiful.
Oh, Ithrin's so touched, and we'll definitely spend a whole lot of time here.
As you're making your way back down the mountainside, once you've left Ithrin up top, why don't you just go ahead and give me just a straight up perception roll, if you don't mind there, Isle, please. And if I could
Perception.
also have perception rolls from those of you who are on the road.
5. The 5.
Excellent. You don't notice anything.
Nope. I'm distracted by the thing I did. And I had mentioned, I think before as we were signing off, that like when I finally pick it up and play it, it's really towards the end of things. So my only request is that that really baller performance check be kind of in the middle of that when the rest of the group arrives.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Can
But
do.
other than that, my time will be spent not neglecting my training and my equipment.
Excellent. You may reduce your hit point maximum by 8.
I'm not dying. It's fine.
Over the course of that 8 days, is Alan doing anything?
Yeah, I'm gonna be bitching and complaining that all Eclipse made me leave my cart behind and I can't forge anything. While we're in the military tent. And I'll be probably just practicing hitting things with my hammer to let off some steam.
The Hollow Knight that you're with says if it's a forge you require, one can be brought.
Really? And materials and stuff?
Of course.
My dear, do you not know where you are?
No.
This is a holy city of the god Corion. There's a forge on every block.
Sorry.
Awesome.
Holland, you stand in the heart of creation.
I wish I could go and see it. I will not. And yes, please bring me a forge and a bunch of stuff.
You hear his voice echo differently, almost like a more distant echo as he says, see to it that the finest forge that is mobile within the city is brought out to the quarantine tent. For safety, it's probably best if the Ironbred bring it, and see to it that they are
Contactless delivery.
cleansed magically before they re-enter the city, just to be on the safe side. We'll need materials as well. Metals, whatever. Bring iron, bring adamantine, bring mithril.
And if Holland at that point can pull themselves away from away from the forge and is doing the training. That's one of the things Iolocles is going to be doing is keeping up with his training, and he would be happy to spar.
Hell yeah. We'll be sparring together then. Awesome.
Excellent. You do so. You enjoy a lovely bit of exercise in your sparring. Alan, you probably find it pretty disturbing, even though Alocles certainly doesn't react every time it happens. Literally every time that you strike or that there's a parry, you are noticing like little flecks of rust falling off of it, even at sparring speeds.
I would make great effort for there to be no reaction.
Most of it's not uncomfortable. The biggest problem is that you just, aside from like the general irritation and almost itchiness, is sort of a feeling of fatigue, which brings me to the 8th day for you. Go ahead and give me a Constitution saving throw, please. Any advantages? It is a disease, and any advantages or anything like that does apply.
Yeah, so I'm immune to disease, so I would guess there's probably an advantage there. Since I can't be immune to this one.
Your inherent immunity to disease does not.
I have advantage on death saves, and then I have immunity to disease, being charmed, and being unconscious, and then I have a resistance to poison.
Okay. So what would happen then is this. Would normally you would suffer disadvantage on this save just by virtue of being metallic.
Okay.
But you may make it as I'll let you go ahead and make it as normal because you are immune to disease by virtue of being paladin.
Then a 17.
All right. You do not gain exhaustion from the disease, so you are a little tired, but it's not like it's not whittling away your ability to recover yet.
And I imagine a lot of the sparring would probably be in the early days while the mobile forge is being set up and stuff before Alan starts getting distracted by that. And then once that's done, and then they're a little more distracted by that, and I start kind of feel the fatigue, it'll probably be a lot of like doing form work by myself, working through, the different sword forms and shield forms and things like that, where there's less physical demand and put on me by other people, but without showing. I would not allow any sort of like I'm weak, pity me. It's not in him.
Beautiful. And whilst all that's going on, I did ask those of you who are traveling on the road to give me a perception check. What were your results?
15.
Excellent.
There's a 1.
Excellent. You don't know shit. What'd you get, Charlie?
10.
10? Okay. So most of you don't notice anything. Most of the Legionnaires don't notice anything. But when you're about 4 days out from the Gleaming Valley, Charlene, you notice something odd flying above, kind of swoop, kind of circle around a couple of times. Looks like maybe it's a flying creature doing some sort of recon. It's hard to tell at this distance because it's flying pretty high up, but it does appear to have sort of a arrangement of limbs that you might expect from like a mock dragon or a drake or a chimera or something along those lines. It's definitely a four-legged creature with a lengthy tail and head, and there's definitely a surprising wingspan on it. The other bit that you notice is that you can even see from down here, the wings are not completely cohesive. There are holes large enough in the wings, in irregular places for you to notice from the ground.
I'll remind people to look up because no one ever looks up. What's that up there?
By the time you point it out, a couple of Legionnaires look. One of them pulls out a spyglass. Be mindful, that looks like it might be a storm rack dragon, and it looks wounded.
It's a storm rack dragon.
So during the Divine War, the true dragons at one point basically told the gods and the Titans to take turns fucking themselves and took off. Because the Titans had lost access to that firepower, they took elemental wreck, which is kind of this, if you would imagine raw elemental energy that has been imbued with hatred and pain and suffering. And they took that and they made dragons out of it. So Stormwrack dragons are built out of a mixture of storm energy and pain and suffering and loathing.
It's kind of sad.
It is kind of sad. The rack dragons are thought to be close to extinct, and are also, depending on who you ask, responsible for anywhere from 10 to 50% of the damage done to Gelspad during the Divine War. So he says, I think that's Stormwrack Dragon.
Yeah, let's not piss that thing off.
I don't know what it would be doing flying at all, let alone around here. But we'll maintain a vigil. And they continue. Is there anything else that y'all are doing on the way there after you've discovered that there was a Stormwrack Dragon overhead?
Whenever we like break, does it just like circle us like in our area? Does it stay with close?
No, it only you only noticed it the one time. Seems like it maybe did like a flyby while you were in the midst of a day's journey.
I don't know what injured that thing. That it didn't stick around and finish it off.
Right. Well, on that note, the 8th day arrives. You all reunite as you and the century of Hollow Legionnaires make your way up the road. You can definitely hear this amazing, like virtuoso performance on a lute emanating from the tent out front of the city. The tent's set up, what I say, about 100 feet away from the city gates. And there are a couple of guards who are manning that front gate. And as soon as they see the century approaching, they sort of step forward and blow some horns. The discordant tone of which is almost offensive to your ears in light of this beautiful lute music that you're hearing.
I'll do what I can to kind of like wrap the lute music around the tones and kind of like I'll change the beat and like change the I'll even change like the count and everything and see if I can like pull it in so it doesn't completely fucking ruin things.
You managed to save your performance just fine, but there is that moment of like from everyone as the horns interrupt it. You recover with no problems, and once the horns have been blown, they do call out and say, We've been informed you might be carrying an illness, and we have to ask you to stay outside of the city.
And I'll when I hear the horns, I'll go and I'll after I kind of recover the performance, I'll step outside and hold my hand up to them and say, Ithrin's nearby. Holland is in the forge, that tent there. Welcome to the Gleaming Valley.
I fucking hate it here. It's cold as shit. What are we doing?
Waiting on you.
It's not even that cold in the Gleaming Valley. It's like a nice summer day.
Oh, is
Though,
it? Okay.
compared to what you're used to, though, probably still cold as shit.
Yeah, I'm a tiefling. I like.
Yeah, it's like 70, and you're from Shelzar. You're from a place that's routinely like 120 degrees.
I like it.
So yeah, it's
We've been waiting on you. I'm home, but the rest of you, I can go get Ithrin if you'd like. She's meditating, most likely. I'll end in the forge. I'll let them know you're here.
I'll head over to All in the Forge.
I'll go jump on my mount. So then instead of an hour's walk, it's like a 20-minute ride. And since my mount's celestial in nature, I'll just and hasn't been ridden in a while, I'll wear his ass out. We'll get there quick.
right. So you dash up the side of the mountain. I'll get back to that in a moment. You walk into where Alan is working on the forge. What are you working on in there, Alan?
I'm working on a shield.
Okay. Anything
Like a
in
big
particular?
shield.
Like a tower
I
shield?
want to
Like
make a shield for Iolocles, but I don't want to presuppose that he would want a shield. So I'm trying to make it like Corian themed and everything. I'm trying to make it like a really nice shield because, you know, he totally saved our asses with that awful creature back in the thing.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a, let's do, you can either rely on your dexterity or your intelligence, whichever one you prefer, and add your proficiency bonus to see how this shield is progressing along.
Okay. That's 12.
All right. You've got
It's
the
okay.
basic, you got the basic form down. You've not added any flair that you're particularly impressed with. But you know, basics first. It's functional. It is it will absolutely stop a blow. And yeah, you see Haiku come walking in.
I see Haiku and I'm like, come warm up by the forge. You know?
I definitely do.
Also
And
work
then
the billows. You're here now.
Oh, when he gets close, I think I'm gonna pull him in like a one-arm hug, you know, just kind of like, and continue doing what I'm doing because I don't want to show him how much I missed him, but I'm just gonna like pull him by the neck like this and like let him go. It's like, it's good to see you, Haiku.
Yeah, he like winces for a bit because he doesn't like being touched, but he's like, it's Alan, you know.
And it's like, you know, a band of like steel muscle wrapping her. I mean, you know, she's a particularly muscular ironbred. So it's like being hugged by a Clydesdale. Kind of, you know.
Just like,
Literally.
just like, and then I let you go.
Good to see you too.
Like, took you guys long enough. Sorry, we teleported away.
It's all good. Here's this. In case it happens again, I'll hand her one of the sending stones.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much.
New tattoo, by the way. Sick tat behind the ear, you know.
That's awesome. What does it do?
Lets me for now it's just like a regular sending spell in case you don't have this, you know, or anyone else doesn't have this.
Nice. That's so cool. I need to get a tattoo from Charlene later. But
Yeah.
did you guys get into any trouble on your way here, or?
No, it's been pretty quiet, honestly. Ran into some zombies, but you know, they're dead. And then we ran across this like weird thunder dragon thing, but it didn't attack us or anything.
Did you say you ran into some zombies?
Yeah, but don't worry about it. No big deal. You know? So what are you doing?
I feel like a dry swallow. You know? I'm making a gift for Yalikli since he totally saved our butts when we came across a blood reaper. So
Oh yeah, that's what the zombies are around. Yeah.
I'm trying not to meet your eye. I'm just like looking at the fire. You know, just like, I'm not gonna ask anymore. Like, oh, well, that's
Like it's like
nice.
bang, bang, bang.
That's nice. You know. Woo. My voice didn't get high or anything. Oh, geez. Well, it's good to have you back. Where's everybody else?
I think they're all just collecting themselves up there.
Okay, cool. Cool.
I love it.
This,
just, like,
this is
fiddling.
all we'll ever say about this. We'll never bring it up again.
I'm just like fiddling with stuff. It's like an awkward silence. I'm just like fiddling with like my equipment. Oh man, just snuggle by the fire.
Yep.
Excellent. So, as you are or as you see those two sort of wander off into the forge tent, what's Charlie doing?
I don't know. I'll probably just wander into the forge tent and just like kind of hunker down.
Okay.
Like in a corner.
All right. As you're riding up to the area, Alocles, where Ithrin is praying, go ahead and give me another perception roll, if you don't mind.
That's better. 19. I don't know how I got a 5 last time. No, wait, hold on. That's the wrong. Rolled a 4, so 16.
Okay, excellent. This time you do see, like, as you are you're probably 5 minutes from where Ithrin is at. You do see up close, because you're up much higher. Probably 500, 700 feet maybe away. You see a storm rack dragon. But immediately it strikes you as something unnatural about it, something beyond the normal blasphemy of creating a rack dragon in the first place.
It's not wounded, it's undead, isn't it?
This thing is missing a portion of its face. Its
Yeah,
eyes are both milky.
I knew it.
And above and beyond that, you see a cloaked figure riding its back.
Those bastard necromancers made this curse, and now they're monitoring it. That's what's happening.
The cloaked figure is definitely wearing the robes of a necromancer Glivadato.
Yep. How far away are they?
Probably 500 feet when you spot them.
That is outside of short bow range, and I don't have a long bow. All right. You know what? When I see them, the about I'll rear up. There's the only thing worse than an enemy scout is an enemy scout that makes it back. I'm gonna rear up, and with Naught but a word or two. Divine word to Corian. A light shaped like my holy symbol shoots up 10,000 feet into the air. I cast Holy Beacon.
Okay. This pulls you out of
which-
your
On a clear day and a good line of sight can be seen for 30 miles.
This thing going off literally like behind your head. It gets your attention.
And it draws the attention of all those of my faith, which is a city.
Right.
This gets jumped by a city.
Yeah, that's the plan, because I have a short bow and it's too far.
You see those of you who are Ithrin, you see the holy beacon go up behind you. It draws your attention, and then that immediately draws your attention over to the undead stormwrack dragon that's flying nearby.
I mean,
Looking-
Ithrin's first inclination is to just fucking hide.
Okay, you may do so. Go ahead and make a stealth check.
Dig in the snow.
Okay, that's a 10, but I have advantage. Oh, that's much better. That's a 17.
Excellent. You drop down and you get in a good vantage point where you can see what's going on. Those of you who are in the forge tent, you hear some commotion outside, and you can see like brightness creep in the seams of the tent. Like, imagine the sun moving out, the clouds clearing from the sun on a very, very cloudy day, and all of a sudden it's super bright. It's that level of shift inside the tent.
The ones that can respond to this are much more powerful than I am. Much more.
A bit, yeah. You gotta be packing some fairly decent spell slots to cast what's about to be cast a lot in that quarantine section. Are those of you in the tent doing anything to respond when you see this flash of light?
I definitely would head out of the tent and see what that is, because
Yeah.
oh shit, it's brighter now.
You as
Yeah.
well, Charlie?
Yes.
As the four of you step out of your various, where I don't remember where Charlene went, but as you step out and look outside, you see like dozens of the of the legionnaires that are in the sentry that's out front, like grouping up into like groups of 8, and then they just disappear. The Hollow Knight that's with them walks out and looks over and says, "I fear that Iolocles may be in danger. If you would like to stay here and defend your forge, you may. Otherwise, you may accompany me."
Yeah, we're going.
There's a fight over there. We're going.
He nods, and you all teleport to Iolocles' side. All told, there's about 75 members of this army that appear.
New quarantine members.
Well, these are all ones that are already quarantined.
Okay.
These are all ones that are already quarantined.
As soon as they show up, I point and I say, "He can't get away.
All right.
They're involved." And I point to him. I say, "They can't get away. They're involved." And I point to the rust on my face. They're involved.
Well, and I wasn't going to have us fighting tonight.
Nice try.
Look at
Someone throw me like Wolverine.
Who are you gaming for? I mean, like we've killed everything that got in our way.
We are
we didn't
the
shoot
murderers.
it.
I love how Travis is like, "I'm not planning any combat," and then I'm like, "I'll summon an army. It's cool." All the tokens.
I love it. It's great.
I don't think D&D was meant to be like fought with like 75 plus characters.
No, and as a DM, I apologize for the number of things kept up with in this battle. It's
I'll
Oh, that's okay. This module is built to deal with this very eventuality. Well, eventualities like this. But what were you gonna say, Corey?
I'm gonna cast haste on, like as we're doing teleport. I'll cast haste on Holland. My brain completely blanked there for a second.
You're gonna
Like
suck
as
like a
soon as
million
you, as soon as you get done answering the holy beacon, as it were.
Yeah, or as we're rounding up into a circle to get teleported. So yeah.
Well, so you will have haste on you for a minute, Alan.
Awesome.
10 rounds.
Almost there.
Here we go.
Thanks, Charlon.
Anybody else getting off any like, here's my last minute prep spell?
I think I did mine.
That's fair.
How far is it in the sky?
They're 500 feet from where you teleport to.
I can't even reach it. Never mind. But no.
Can I see Iolocles?
Yeah, once you look down the mountainside, yes, you can.
And it looks like
Oh.
you're getting ready to fight.
They're like, this thing is beyond my reach and range. So I throw up the holy symbol and probably stow the shield and grab my short bow. And like I'm turning my steed and probably getting ready to go try to go up the mountain a little farther or closer in that direction or something. But yeah, I mean, it's about the time you turn around, like after I threw the thing and you turn around, like I'm stowing my shield and getting my short bow, and paladins are going boop, 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 boop.
Okay. All right. In that case, Ithrin is going to get within 60 feet of you and then cast Shield of Faith.
Ooh.
So have +2 to your AC for the next 10 minutes or until my concentration breaks.
Puts me at a 20.
Is this a good time to cast Know Your Enemy?
You certainly can. And that's one of your maneuvers, right?
Yeah, it's one of my. It's not a maneuver, but it's ability that I got from my level up. It means if I spend a minute observing another creature outside combat, I can learn information about its capabilities, including strength, dexterity, constitution, armor class, current HP, and total class levels.
That requires you to watch them outside of combat. You're probably not about to get that luxury. Unfortunately.
Interesting.
I would assume someone is going to make an attack very, very soon here.
If only I had anything that could reach. But I assume some of the people coming in have long bows instead of short bows. Hopefully some of them.
My longbow is only 400 feet though.
With disadvantage, you can go to 600, I believe, for a longbow.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure longbow is like, it's like 150 feet.
150, 600 for a longbow. You
Yeah.
have, because you don't have a standard longbow, you have a razor bow, right?
Yeah, I have a razor.
That's
bow.
why.
So the archers are going to fire. Here's how we're going to do this. There are 75 people up here. Out of that 75, (26) are effectively archers at this point. So they will be able to kind of fire in a volley. So let's go ahead and we're just going to assume that you all have the first initiative, as it were. So you can decide what order you would like to act in. It's up to you. Would anyone like to go first, I guess, or assume a command position?
I don't have much I can do attack wise. but of those archers, how many are people who were strong enough to actually cast a spell to bring people with them? Like how many of those are powerful enough that they responded to the beacon rather than being brought with someone who responded to the beacon?
It would be safe to assume, based on the numbers of people that you're seeing, that about 10 of the people present must have cast Holy Beacon's answer.
Okay. So of those 10, I'll find one that's holding a longbow. And I'm going to cast Divine Favor on them as a bonus action,
Okay.
which will just give them some bonus radiant damage.
Excellent.
So it'll give them D4 bonus radiant damage for whatever that happens to be worth. I can only target one person, so I'll. That's why I want to find somebody who casts a spell. I want to find somebody with the highest chance of actually doing something with it.
Wonderful.
And I'll look to this, and the centurion came, and I'll look to him and I'll say, they're involved. You can't get away.
And the Hollow Knight shouts, "Archers!" The archers all ready themselves. Charlie, any action you would like to take? I understand this is a kind of an absurd range, but
Give that inspiration to one of the archers.
are you there, Charlie?
Not hear me?
No, I couldn't
There
hear
you are.
Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. The damn cat's in the way. I lost track of
So
We-
you are sitting in a circle of about 75 Hollow Legionnaires.
Okay.
About 25 of them have bows and arrows.
Okay. My hearing is driving me crazy.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could trying to think. Like, I don't have anything other than Bardic Inspiration. So,
Okay.
um,
You don't have any means of like teleporting yourself closer or anything like that? You can certainly hand a Bardic Inspiration to the nearest archer or to the Hollow Knight if you wish.
do Archer.
Excellent.
You'd see nearby one of them that I cast Divine Favor on, and you'd see his bow like take on kind of a radiant glow.
Yeah, so you could stack that one or you can grab a different one. It's up to you.
Same one, I guess.
Excellent. How about Ithrin? Now, Ithrin, you're above everyone else. If you look at the relief on the map, that's basically a straight up. So you're about 40 feet above everyone else. What would you like to do?
All right, so I've cast the one concentration spell, so I can't do another one. I could cast Ice Storm on the dragon.
What's the range on Ice Storm?
300 feet,
And what's the radius of it?
20 feet.
Probably won't reach.
Okay. Would 60 feet reach?
No.
Okay.
No, it's like 500 feet off.
All right, then I'm gonna hold my action and see what it does. And what my friends do.
Okay. Excellent. Charlone.
So Is up closer? Like if I scaled up the mountain, am I 90
No.
feet closer? Okay, it's kind of yeah.
It's further away. The peak is not toward.
All right. Cool. Then I suppose I'm just waiting for the archers then. Or
So
for
you're
it
going to
to get
reserve for
hit.
the archers as well?
Yeah.
All right. Holland.
I have nothing that I can do at that range.
Yeah, me neither. I'm gonna shake a face to the dragon. Come here so I can hit you.
Well, I will do this since I was on my mount. Allen has that razor bow.
Mm-hmm.
I'll ride by Allen and say, "Come if you want," and reach a hand down, and then I'm gonna ride and dash 120 feet, which puts us 380 feet instead of 500, because my mount has 60 feet of movement.
All right.
Cool. I'll get on.
Not quite there, but closer.
Well, yeah. If that's how many feet? 160 feet now.
So I can, with my mount, we can move 120 feet, and it was 500 feet away, so it'd be 380 away.
And I can hit it with my bow.
Yes, you'll be a disadvantage.
Okay. I'll try.
All right. Go ahead and make your attack check, please.
I just like swoop Allen up onto my celestial war mount and just bail, just gone, full speed.
It was 8 with disadvantage. So I goes wide, but it's fine.
You also
does.
you're also hasted. So you get an additional action on every turn.
And you have and you can take the attack action twice.
So you
Yeah,
have
so I get
so you have 3 attacks. Yeah.
Okay, so let's do the second one. That's a 8 again. 7. So no for the second one. And then for the third arrow, net 20. Or
Nice.
19. So 24. The third one hits. I feel like I was like, huh, mother. Like the third one is gonna hit it.
The third one's when we're the closest too, because it's like as you guys were riding.
Right, exactly.
12 damage.
Wonderful. And are your arrows themselves magical in any way?
No. They're not. I should start making magical arrows for the amount of things we consider that don't have piercing damage or. Yeah.
So what was the damage on that?
12.
Wonderful.
So hold on. It's possible to get closer to it on the ground.
Yeah, you can get closer to it.
Okay.
Yes.
I would have moved towards it then.
Well,
Would triple my
you're
move
full-
speed because I'm aggressive.
Okay.
I probably keep up with the horse. I think.
Can you?
All right. So
Yeah,
you just
I moved and dashed on the horse. It was like 120 feet of movement.
I get 90 out of mine, I think.
Nice.
so you
That's
just
very frightening.
That's
straight up
very nice. So
stab it with an arrow.
you're a very fast orc.
And actually, when I'm at 90 feet, I'll thunderstep 90 feet closer.
Okay.
Ooh.
So one of the tattoos on my body would flash, and you'd see me go from behind you to in front of you by about the same amount of distance.
And sorry, one more time. Your damage result was what?
12.
12. Thank you.
So I'd put you 320 feet.
Yeah.
For
Yeah. Total of
Yeah.
180 feet closer.
so 320 feet from it.
Wonderful. Haiku.
Is this where I'm beeping? Is it like higher elevation?
So
Like,
it's flying basically parallel to the elevation where you're at. Ithrin is a higher elevation than you. Everyone else is basically on the same plane roughly. My assumption would be that as you're moving closer to it, you're moving along this lip of the mountainside to get,
where you at? Oh, okay.
you see what I'm saying? Let me scroll way out. But my assumption is that you're all moving along that lip.
Oh, so all this is like a cavern essentially, right? Like it's
Well, it's you're up the side of a mountain at this point.
gotcha. Okay. So I will I'm gonna move my 30 feet closer. Uh,
I moved Dialecles 120 feet, but I think the dragon. I don't think we were right. I can cut that back.
No, you're fine.
Okay.
and then I'm gonna one of the tattoo on my hand is gonna glow. I'm gonna use
Yeah,
the
you-
misty step to get 30 feet closer.
You'd probably be more if you can see where I'm pinging. Closer to the lip, basically, because that's over the edge.
I don't see a ping, but I'll just move back to there.
Yeah. So you could go up a bit. Like
I think the math and the thing is doing 5-foot squares, and we're probably at like 10 feet squares,
oh
like with the
yeah,
actual distance. So I just cut it in half. I just brought me back half the distance I went.
right on. That works for me.
Ish. Yeah, because it's doing 5 feet for math, but I think they're 10 feet to make the distances work. I think the squares are 10 feet. So
Yeah, let me
we should probably do about half of whatever it says on the tabletop.
that works for me. Or let's see, I might be able to fix that real fast. I did not have the time to build this model to scale, as Dr. Emmett Brown said.
You're welcome.
All right, there we go. Now the scale should match up a little bit closer to right.
Do that. Okay. All right. Yeah. Then I walked and then used my tattoo to misty step a little further, a little closer. So I'm right there.
Excellent.
Get closer my next turn.
All right. So now here's what I'd like you all to do. Each one of you will give me a combat roll for the archers. The archers have a attack bonus. Of +5. And these are, the disadvantage will be basically canceled out by the aid action that everyone's taking with one another. And they will also be able to use the volley action, which in addition to the attack that each one of you will make, the dragon and its rider will both need to make a dexterity saving throw.
So +5, so 17.
16 for mine.
Even with a +5, I rolled an 8.
Excellent. So
It's just D20, right? Yeah.
yeah, just a d20, and then you have a +5.
That'll be a 19.
$18.
Sorry, I
And-
missed it. Did I have to roll?
Yes, each one of you. So I'm just having you all roll for the archers to.
Yeah, I think like each of us are rolling for a group of archers,
You said
basically.
it's +5.
That's correct.
Yeah, it was 9. Sorry.
Sure. So who got 18s or higher?
I did.
I
Excellent.
did.
So 2 of you hit. The damage from those bows, you may roll 2d8 +4. And I need to make 2 dex saves.
Be 11 from me.
And then the other one was Milena.
Yeah.
I like it when the DM rolls and the numbers are low.
Indeed. The dragon will use one of its legendary saves to make the save against Valley. You said 13?
14.
14. Excellent. So we have 11 and 14. Is that correct? Am I remembering these numbers correctly?
Yes.
Sorry, I have.
So 25 all in from the two of us.
Yep. You are fucking this dragon up as you just shower the area with various bits of wooden detritus. Give me half a second.
All I can picture right now is Gimli being like, "It's still only one."
Exactly. Exactly. They start swooping in,
Oh, that's not what I thought was going to happen.
going
That
for
makes
a full dash.
Yeah, get
Cool.
closer.
This makes me happy. This is the opposite of what I expected, and it is everything that I hoped for.
Yeah. I want him closer.
Giggity.
So they're going to go full movement. So that's going to bring them in 120 feet.
Puts it. We did 120. He did 120. 240. I'm putting 260 from me and you, Olin. Elena.
Awesome.
Okay, that's still a little far to be affected by any of the dragon's abilities quite yet. But its rider, on the other hand, might have a trick up her sleeve.
He's a horrible
No.
person. Oh, what do I have?
Not quite yet. She will spend this turn she's going to take the dodge action,
Good for her.
just in case. All right. It is time for our second round. Ithrin and Charlung, or no, Ithrin was the only one that was holding action at this point, right? Or was Haiku as well, right?
Yeah,
I
so
wasn't holding no.
my friends are all suicidal, so I'm going to use my whole action to get closer to Iolocles, Haiku, and Charlong, so I can like help them out of whatever nonsense they're about to propagate.
Don't worry, we're coming back.
You
All
took
right.
the bait. So I'm just moving him where I would have been. Oh, sorry.
Took the bait. Time to reel it in.
All right. You may all repeat your actions unless you have something different you would like to do this round. Any changes for what Alocles would like to do?
Gonna turn. Gonna let Olin go first. We're gonna let Olin know and say they took the bait. We're going back. Gonna draw them in. Take your shots, and let Olin get their 3 shots off before I turn and move back towards the group and try to draw the dragon and the rider in.
All right. Go ahead and make your attacks there, Alan.
Not at a disadvantage now because we're not moving, right?
No, you're not at a disadvantage because they came closer.
Okay. Let's do
So
it.
you'll be just attacking normally.
21,
That will hit.
18,
That will hit.
and 19.
That will hit. You put 3 arrows into the dragon. Go ahead and roll damage on all 3 of those, please.
Cool.
As you're getting close, as it's getting closer, and you can now see where your arrows are heading, it's just going through the scales, and like scales are flaking off. There's this like black ichor that's leaking out where it's hitting.
I feel you, bro. I'm sick too.
Exactly.
So 20 damage total.
Excellent.
And
And you're gonna dash, right?
well, my mount is myself. However, for a second, I'm going to take. One second, look at my spells real quick. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'm going to loose 2 short bow attacks, which will still be at disadvantage.
Okay.
Because of distance. Because we're still a couple hundred feet out. So it'd be an 11 and a natural 1.
Excellent. The first one goes wide. On the second, your bow snaps.
I just throw it to the ground and I look at it all. I'm like, I fucking hate these things. And I unsheathe my sword and pull my shield back out, and then turn around, and Mount will move and dash back to not directly towards the group, but like at let's see, kind of like that, kind of spread.
Okay.
Perfect.
Excellent. Ithrin, any action from you at this point?
I am going to move closer to Iolocles. So,
So you're gonna climb down the side?
yeah.
All right, go ahead and give me a athletics check. You have advantage, I believe, by virtue of being a Slytherin for climbing. Yes, or you just
I
have
have
climb speed?
proficiency.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
16.
Yeah, you make it down the side of the mountain with no issue whatsoever, and can move your full move.
Awesome. All right. I have moved myself. And that is it for my turn. Yeah, that's it for my turn.
Excellent.
I'm still concentrating on divine favor on the higher level archer guy.
Excellent. And that adds a D4 to the attack roll. So make sure when you
a D4 of radiant, yeah.
D4 radiant damage. Okay, so make sure you're tracking that on your roll. Also,
Okay. +2 to the last one then.
Okay. +2 damage from the last one.
Yeah, radiant if it matters.
I will double check if it does. While I'm double checking if it does, Charlone, do you have an action?
Yeah. If it's coming, it's flying like it's coming right for us.
Yes,
so to speak.
It's coming right for us. Yes.
Then I'll use another charge.
It has Patrick Duffy for a leg.
Yeah. Then I'll use another charge from my and my tattoo ability and dash and move. So 60 plus 90 is 150.
150. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try to go like side of the group,
Okay.
so to speak, like diving out of the way.
We're starting to spread out, kind of the hole in the line.
I mean, it's a dragon. It's gonna have a breath
Yeah.
attack.
Yeah.
So
Groups are bad.
All right.
if it decides to come for me, you've seen me basically blink like twice in a row now. You're assuming I can move. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that brings us to Charlie. Are you going to take any actions yourself?
Guess I'll move.
Delete that short bow from my gear.
What are these, 5?
These are 10-foot squares.
Oh.
Most of the archers are remaining grouped up. And you notice several of the legionnaires who have spellcasting capabilities are touching the arrows of the archers as the archers are loading them. As you see 25 spellcasters cast multiply missile.
I might have moved too far. If I did, I'm sorry.
You're good, I think. Anything besides the movement?
Dude, it's like I was just out for a Sunday ride, man.
No. That's it. I am finished.
Okay. So did anyone else not get anyone this round?
Me. I'm just gonna move and then dash right over here. That's my turn.
All right, beautiful. You can now each make your attack roll for the archers. A couple things to remember. Don't forget to incorporate your D4 if you do in fact hit, James. And when you're rolling for yours, Charlie, don't forget that you gave Bardic Inspiration, so they will use that inspiration die. So you can add that to your attack roll.
That was a big fat natural 1.
Excellent.
Unless
Use your inspiration.
I know they had previously had been at disadvantage due to range, canceled by help action. Did he close enough distance that it is now a normal roll, given advantage by the help action, so that I can tell that natural 1 to fuck off?
That is accurate, yes.
Haha.
None of the attacks will suffer disadvantage. And in fact, all of them would have advantage. On top of the help action, they also would have advantage from multiply missile.
12.
We're rolling again.
Still doesn't hit, yeah. So you'll have
roll.
advantage on those rolls. Yep. Everybody go ahead and roll for the archers.
I got a 16, which I know doesn't hit.
Rolled really bad.
I got
23.
a 22.
23.
Thanks.
Nice.
Excellent. And Charlie, you can add your inspiration die to that attack roll as well.
Oh, I rolled. Yeah, 18.
Excellent.
I
So
got
those
it.
will hit.
10. Do I also have advantage on
Yes.
this roll? Let me try again. A 4. Never
Wonderful.
mind.
So Charlie, Ithrin, and Haiku's archers all hit. Now this will actually be it triples the damage dice. So I need you all to roll 6d8, please, from the multiply missile.
Oh, shit.
And what you see from where you're at, what you see is that entire part of the mountain range disappears under, like the sky blacks out as these arrows go firing forward.
32 damage on my end.
28 from me.
Sick. We're gonna level up again. No.
And what did you get, Charlie?
26.
Excellent. After the volley of missiles, the dragon now missing massive portions of its flesh with huge bits of exposed skeleton beneath, continues rushing forward.
Oh, cool. Cool. That's no reason to be concerned about that.
Fine. We're fine.
Yeah, fine. Thank you.
All right, you're still a little bit out of range there for its frightful presence does not affect you yet. You notice the rider is definitely casting a spell on its back. But it doesn't seem to be having any effect that's going to target any of you.
Does it look like it's casting on the dragon?
It does look like it's casting on the dragon.
Cool. Nothing to be concerned about there. It's fine. All
Yeah,
good.
no, this is exactly how it was always going to go down.
No, this is planned. It's all under control.
This is exactly how we planned it.
Yeah. It's cool. Fine. You know, if anybody from in the city who wasn't in quarantine, you know, I know there's a lot of rumors about quarantine that talk about how all the cool people are there. If they want to join that, they're welcome to come out here.
Okay, she will cast that spell using a sixth level spell slot. So
That's a lot. Also,
excellent. Also, yes.
so how close is the dragon to the rest of the group at this point?
It's 240 feet from the nearest member of the group. 210 feet from the nearest member of the group, which is Haiku.
Okay.
You all have one more round of attacks that you may make. What would you like to do, Charlone?
Oh, I'm exploring options. Come back.
All right, Alan, you're still on the back of the horse, right?
Yeah, I'm going to continue with my plan that's working flawlessly.
You just keep shooting arrows at it?
Yeah, but can I aim for the rider?
You can aim for the rider, absolutely.
I will aim for the rider this time.
Wonderful. Go ahead and make your 3 attack checks, please.
Yeah, because, you know, poking the bear is exactly what is needed in a situation that's 18,
This won't go poorly
24,
at all.
and 8. So 2 hit.
2 of those do hit. Go ahead and roll your damage on both of those.
4
Hey, you know,
and 11.
You put an arrow in each of her shoulders.
And then I flick her off from a distance.
fun
But you can
fact,
barely see. It's very tiny.
it doesn't matter what the damage
It's
is.
for me.
They still make concentration checks.
In the event that they're casting concentration spells, that is true.
You see?
Even 1 damage would do it.
Iolocles is going to look at Alan and say, I think this is a good place to split
I agree.
and give out not
Push her off.
not push Alacles off, but like kind of grab under one arm and kind of do the like the lift and be like, and this is the exit.
Are you all?
Did you just shove me from your car?
Quick question.
Kinda. More like I picked you up and set you down off of it.
You can't lift me, bro. Like I'm 3 tons of
My
muscle.
lift is very good.
Is everyone comfortable with going a little long tonight?
Yes.
Excellent.
My lift is 570 pounds.
Yeah,
I'm
so
a
you can move.
Clydesdale.
You can move, Alan, barely.
It's rough, but we're there.
You dislocate your shoulder in the process.
No, you do
Excellent.
like that,
Cheryl-
like toss
Cheryl,
a
any
hand
feet out
and
to-
swing them. Yeah, no, I still don't have anything that hits at that range. So
I'll let you make an Arcana check, but you can make it a disadvantage.
sure. Let's see. Disadvantage. Roll. Oh, that yeah. Nope. That was
What'd you get?
a natural 1, which became a 5.
Oh, yeah, you don't
Yeah.
know shit about what's going on. Ithrin, do you have an action?
Yeah. Am I within range of casting spells on the dragon from where I am?
Anything that's 220 feet or less, yep.
220 or less.
Or 220 or more, I should say. Sorry. It's late. This is only the third game I've run in the last 3 days.
Oh no. So
I'm
300
saying
feet?
is I'm looking forward to my day off tomorrow.
I'm jealous you get one of those.
Yeah, I rarely. Oh, I mean, day off from streaming. But please, you were saying, Ithrin?
Oh, I'm contemplating casting Freezing Sphere on the dragon.
Freezing sphere.
Yes.
You can give it a shot.
Okay. All right, let's do this. Spend the charges. Okay. So it is 10d6 damage. It saves Constitution at 15.
Oh, excellent. And what happens on a successful save, which it does make?
Oh, God, it does.
Half damage.
All right, go ahead and roll that damage.
Oh, I just did, and then I had to click it away.
All the damage dice.
There's my game log. 35.
35.
All right, so I will paint a picture for you of what happens. You throw this freezing sphere at the dragon. It hits. And you see the woman atop the dragon jump off, basically like let go, and flies into the air and then disappears. As the freezing sphere hits the dragon, you see bits of its scales start to fall off. Its snout breaks in half. And then you see it starting to rumble and pulse as
Okay.
it explodes in a massive burst of necrotic energy. Now, while this burst of
Shit.
necrotic energy is absolutely harmless at the distance that you've detonated the dragon to you, you do see bits of its material, its body, just rain down the side of the mountain.
Oh, we're gonna have to go clean that up later.
We're not.
It's a mountain. Like, you gotta clean it up. Like the weather, rain, you know.
That's what
Ruined.
apprentices are for.
The Hollow Knight like steps over and looks down the mountainside at this smear of undead Stormwrack dragon remains.
Can we tell? Did the rider like teleport away,
Looks like she
or
teleported.
or teleport to another place on the like? Did we see? Like, did she move or like gone, or like another place on the mountain?
Go ahead and give me. I'll let all of you give me an Arcana check if you'd like,
Oh, Arcana.
or religion if that's what you would prefer.
Got a 20.
8.
Got a
I
net
had-
20.
6.
I rolled a 3. Like I was
Okay,
watching the animation, it was so close to being a 16, but then just tip.
I also rolled a 3. I'm distracted by the gore that was the dragon.
Okay. So those of you who got 18 or better, recognize based on the there was an energy pattern that you would associate with the god Otassel. And it indicates to you that the teleportation was very likely a effect that pulled her back to a sanctuary, some sort of a religious, like a temple or a home. So chances are very good not anywhere on this mountain.
The name of the god?
He's gone.
Otassel.
Did
you- Did you succeed at that roll there, Haiku?
You're damn right I did. I got 20.
You immediately start to put 2 and 2 together as you realize Otassel, the Bone Lord, is quite possibly that mysterious patron who has saved you in the past.
Oh my god.
Alocles, because when he dropped Olin, he then went away from the group. Will come back down and pick Olin up.
No, you won't.
And head back to the nope. No, I won't. Nope.
Swoop down, offer a hand. She's like, "Meh."
Fuck Olin. I'm out.
You
You
all
just shoved me off your horse like 2 fucking
Not-
seconds ago.
No, we agreed that it was good to split, and I helped you dismount.
as you regroup, you can all very clearly see that Haiku is disturbed by what he has seen.
I upon like realizing that, I probably like just kind of like dropped to my knees like right there and just kind of look like kind of like stunned.
Who? Like I kind of stride up on the horse. You
What was that?
okay? You okay?
I'm probably just like 1,000-yard stare right now. Oh, we're in trouble.
Yes. That's yes. I'd hope to question the writer, but
The Hollow Knight says, "We must return home and prepare. I have a feeling that is not the last we're going to see of Glibidatel's forces."
kind of point to that rust spot on my face. Say, I don't think so either.
As you're making your way back down the mountain, the Hollow Knight says, "I suspect if Glibidatel returns, they're going to return in force. They must know by now that we have been infected. Hopefully, they do not understand the reach or lack thereof of the infection."
I think they'll give it time.
Tactically, if they're going to strike, especially at the pace this is working, my guess would be they're going to strike sooner than later.
Here's hoping quarantine works.
I have an alternative solution.
Hit them first.
We will march on Glividotel, those of us who are infected,
Hit them
the
first.
Legionnaires and the and myself. This is, I wish to make clear, this is, I'm sorry?
We're less than 100 people.
It's not our, let me clarify. Our job will not be to march to Glividotel. I suspect we will encounter an invading force on their way here. He turns to Alland, who's probably had the most time to interact with. He says, it is possible our clerics can find some sort of means of cleansing you from this disease. It doesn't seem to be impacting you. To that end, I would like you and your friends to remain here and allow our clerics time to research.
I look to them as like, do you guys think it's a good idea? I think it wouldn't hurt.
Please just speak up and say, we've poured everything we have into this, and all we did was take it off a few days. I think the best thing they can do is go find a better answer.
Where would they find it?
Not here.
He says, it is not my, you are not my soldiers. I am in no position to order you. But I would ask you to return to the quarantine tents and inform the workers there that you need to seek the counsel of the king.
Are we ready to put the king's life on the clock?
Nobody can speak through intermediaries. And he will have the wisdom, hopefully, to point you where you need to go next.
He'd intended to speak to Corion sometime in the last week, yes?
We have received no direct answers to any prayers.
And I'll follow the orders you give me and hope what they do is enough.
Our breathing friends, do you have any objections or questions about this directive?
How long will this take?
I have no idea.
Okay, I kind of have an appointment.
Yeah, we have stuff that we're up to. Like,
Yeah.
You are free. If you have other things you need to do, this is not your fight. And you are free and go with our blessing. But my concern is that you are currently carrying a disease that can harm my children.
To clarify very quickly, Travis, the bear friend that I met last week, he was like, "You're tainted. Don't come back till you fix that."
Yes, that is correct. Basically, what he was saying is, don't bring that shit to Fenrillic.
Okay, totally fair. And so
There's a whole ass ocean between us and that disease. Don't.
I mean, we all got a real great object lesson on why you don't do that. Okay.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so if this guy's offering the possibility to get cleansed, then Ithrin will go along.
Any thoughts or protests from anyone else in the group?
I look at Haiku and I'm like, are you okay?
I'm really scared.
Hmm.
Made it. This is familiar, and I thought I got rid of this, and this seems too much of a coincidence. I don't know.
Okay, well, don't worry. We will take care of it, okay?
Any thoughts from the orc or the manticora? The knight says.
Makes sense
But
to me to
everybody
stay
else
and get
wants to do.
healed. Even if
Well,
it doesn't affect us, we are spreading disease.
he nods. And what was that, Charlie?
But I'll do what everybody else wants to do. It's fine.
As you wish. In that case, then he turns to the army and says, if you have any messages for your loved ones, you should perhaps give them to our associates here. You 5 or 6 of them chant, only that we died bravely.
You hear a tune, very encouraging, if not somber melody, strummed from a lute somewhere in the group. A familiar twist on something heard before.
As he's playing the lute, I kind of like reach in my pocket and I also pull out a lute and I just kind of like look at it for a second, like just hand shaking. And I just kind of like put it back.
Kind of in playing it, I'll kind of walk over and lean down to Haiku and say, I don't know where the fuck I learned this. Just kind of keep going. Feels like something he'd appreciate.
It's
Then
not
I-
mine.
What was that?
I just kind of like look over and say it's not mine.
The knight says,
Nor is this mine.
the knight says, fall in. We will buy the Golden City as much time as we can.
I'll kind of strum to a close. I'll take the loot off, kind of over, and I'll hand it to Haiku. Say, you should learn to play. You have 2 now. And then I'll walk away without him. And just any answer he gives, I'll ignore, and I'll just walk away and go fall into line.
The Hollow Legionnaires fall into a formation behind the Hollow Knight. And the Hollow Knight begins singing a battle march from the Divine War. Just a call and response about the glory of dying in the service of the gods as they march to Corion's Trod to try to hold the pass as long as they possibly can. And that's where we'll wrap things up for this session.
Eolicles from a mount his steed will look back kind of just as they give the cliff and kind of give a salute to the group.
It'll salute back.
Just as he heads over the rise and out of sight.
Excellent. And that's where we'll wrap our tale for this session. Any questions, comments, complaints, or concerns about the way things went tonight?
This was great. You ran the surprise combat really well.
Thanks.
surprise,
felt
we're picking a fight.
I did not. Thank you. I'm glad that it went smoothly on your end.
I'm fine. I'm not moving to a suicide war at all. It's fine.
Well, maybe they'll send someone back to tell the story. Yeah.
No movies have ever been made about anything similar.
Right.
We got
So-
100 men holding a pass.
What could go wrong?
100 men in, form-fitting, ab-bearing armor. The imagination runs wild with all the shit that will be talked by these Howl Legionnaires as they're fighting down the oncoming army of whatever Glividatel is throwing at you. But that'll be a tale for another time. All right.
Off
Jeez.
he goes. Hopefully see you guys soon.
We'll see. Perhaps one day, if by some miracle Iolocles manages to survive this siege,
15 hit points lower than I should be as a maximum at March.
Yep. And with a bunch of other people who are now down several hit points from their maximum.
It's
It'll-
fine.
It'll be an interesting
It's not like this
fight.
is anybody's fault or anything.
Well, having said that, that draws the curtain on Iolocles' journey with us for now. I want to thank you again, James, for being a part of this story, for being
Thank you so much
There
for having
can-
me.
tug
been
on the
awesome.
heartstrings of the players. Now they all have a reason, right? They all have a motivation. The 100 Legionnaires, the century that fell is now a
Except for
strong
Olin,
relation.
she's like, fuck that guy. He pushed me off a horse.
No, an exterior. Deep inside, I'm like, I never got to give him the shield that I'm making.
Oh, it's all for nothing.
No, I'm gonna cherish that shield. It's gonna be very meaningful. But
By
I'll
the
save it
time
for when I see you again.
by the time you finish, it's going to be the most beautiful shield with like adamantine with like gold filigree and Corian symbol is going to be just it's going to be
Yeah,
so
I'll
dope.
save it for when we see you again.
I'll
In
make it.
Valhalla.
You guys,
So sad.
so sad.
Right? All he did was dig a hole for Ithrin and she's sold.
Yeah.
All right. Well, on that note, then I guess that's where we will do our outros. Thank you all so much for being here, and thank you for playing. Thank you those of you who are watching either at home, either live or in the VOD. I appreciate your support. I'm gonna have everyone go ahead and introduce themselves. Tell us who you are, what you do, who you're playing, your pronouns, their pronouns, where we can find you on the internet, or anything else you might wish to plug. And we will start that process off with our guest, Iolocles. Once again, I cannot thank you enough for being here. This has been a huge time, and this will not, I can promise you, whether or not it's Iolocles, this will not be the last time that you're at our table. I would love to have you back. We'll work
I
out
hope
some
not.
scheduling stuff soon.
It's so much fun. My name is James, he, him. I am a cloud infrastructure architect. I work on Amazon Web Services and make pretend computers do real things for people. And mostly I just do that to fund my D&D addiction, which I love, and can't wait to get some of the Scarred Land stuff actually in my hand because it's so metal. If you didn't back it, get the backer kit. I'm telling you, it's epic. And thank you so much all for letting me participate. and I hope I get to see you at either this table or another sometime in the future.
Thank you so much for being here. It's really, truly been a pleasure, and I'm very, very grateful. Not only just for the time, but also for the wonderful story and now tragic motivation that you have provided to the players.
You
And
have to keep me alive because I need my shield.
We'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know when. So next up, that brings us to Charlung. Please give us your pertinent details.
Hey there, I'm Corey, aka Narf on Twitch and Twitter. They, them. Today I was playing Charlung. Also they, them. The sorcerer of the element plane of water. And tattooist. It's been fun. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have anything in particular to plug today. Caves of Cud. Bye. That's it.
Go get Caves of Cut. It's on Steam. I was muted. Next up, Alan, please give us your pertinence.
I'm Milena. I played Holland. I'm gonna miss Eolicles like so much. I know I don't show it, but we bonded over quarantine and everything. In real life, I'm an artist, an art teacher in Illinois. I'm not really on social media much anymore, but I am on Tumblr, which is the worst or the best, depending. And you can find me there or on my Patreon. Yeah, that's me.
You guys, Milena does amazing art. My wife's Christmas present, Milena did it. I'm just saying, it's great.
It was so much fun. Thanks for commissioning me, James.
Yes, you guys should reach out, let her do some stuff.
You should. She does some beautiful stuff. You can also see her art in Frostlands of Fenric. Speaking of where this campaign might wind up going eventually, if you all live long enough. But while I'm looking for the link to that, let's go ahead and scoot over to Ithrin. Please give us your pertinence.
Hello, my name is Rachel. I'm Stolen Fires pretty much everywhere on the internet. As far as when you can see me next, tomorrow I'll be running Vampire the Requiem, a Belial's Brood game set in Detroit. That will be over at Vorpal Tales at 2 in the afternoon, Pacific time. And then on Friday, I'm going to be running Masks of Narlath Hotep, also at Vorpal Tales at 3 in the afternoon Pacific time. Also, I have a Ko-Fi, and I have a Ko-Fi store, and I just uploaded a file to my digital Ko-Fi store. It is a 10-page essay on how to write a one-shot. So if you are interested in that, go to ko-fi.com/stolenfires, all one word, and it is pay what you want.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. I'm going to grab that link and throw it in the chat. And whilst I am doing that, let's move right along to Charlie. Please give us your pertinence.
I'm Sarah. She, her. I play Charlie. Also she, her. I'm allergic to the entire Midwest, so I've got nothing else.
Yeah, it's been a bad week for allergies in the Legge and Sharon Weber household. I do believe that Ko-Fi link that I just threw in the chat should take you directly to Rachel's book.
Thank you kindly.
And last but not least, that leaves us with Haiku. Please give us your pertinence.
Hey guys, I am the massive hair that mech pilots this flesh body known as Mike Mutant. I play Haiku, both of us, he, him, in real life. I am a artist. I am on Instagram at Mike_Mutant. Pretty much everywhere at Mike Mutant too. And give me a little follow, see what's coming up.
Word. And I guess that leaves me. I am Travis Legge. I've had the privilege of being the game master for this session. I am he, him, they, them, all fine. And I was a developer on Dead Man's Rust. So this is kind of bringing my baby to fruition. I would like to simultaneously compliment, complain, and brag all at once. I commend you all for coming up with a quarantine solution very quickly for this, and I would like to complain about that making my job so much more difficult than it might have otherwise been. But I would like to compliment myself and the authors of Dead Man's Rest because we planned for this eventuality. That's right. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff that you'll find within the manuscript that talks about running chapters out of sequence and when players throw wrenches in your works, because they will. Dead Man's Rest is an adventure that covers levels 1 to 10, but it's not linear. And in fact, sometimes there's things you want to run from. Sometimes there's things you're just not ready for and you have to come back to. And sometimes all of the Howl Legionnaires that you just befriended go off to sacrifice themselves heroically on the field of battle, so that they can buy you a few days to maybe figure out what you should do next.
Somebody said that up front. Not part of the deal.
This wasn't what I signed up for. Once again, I also would like to remind you, when I'm not working on this stuff, I do work on some other things for ye old Onyx Path, one of which is the Technocracy Reloaded Jumpstart, which just dropped today in POD and PDF over at Drive-Thru RPG. It's set in the city of Rockford, which is where I am from. And it's just a huge, awesome introduction to the world of Mage the Ascension through the eyes of the Technocracy. Everything that you need to get a game going, including ready-made characters and a built-in plot, is right there. And I highly recommend checking it out if you've been on the fence about Mage, or if you've never encountered Mage the Ascension before. This is a good way to get in. So head over to Drive-Thru RPG and pick that up. I also want to remind you that Trinity Continuum Assassins is available for pre-order right now. If you go pick it up at Drive-Thru RPG right now, you get access to most of the manuscript. They're still rolling out a couple chapters left, but a lot of the good stuff, a lot of the crunch, a lot of the powers are in there. So if you want to play characters making the world a better place through murder and mayhem, you may do so with Trinity Continuum Assassins. And last but not least, Trinity Continuum Anima is on Kickstarter. Right now, we are, looks like about 1,200, a little bit less than 1,200 away from unlocking the next stretch goal. And we're at 980 backers, which is not too bad. We'd like to hit 1K backers. We'd like to be able to unlock that companion. So if you've not yet done so, please head over to Kickstarter and pre-order, support back Trinity Continuum Anima. There's a lot of cool add-ons. It's a wonderful cyberpunk RPG set in 2084 in the Trinity Continuum. It has a lit RPG element of a MMO called Terra Surge that your characters also play. If you'd like to see that in action, you can check the VODs on this channel for Trinity Continuum actual plays. You can check the Onyx Path YouTube channel for Trinity Continuum actual plays. Lots of cool stuff going on with Anima there. I guess the next time this group sees you, it will be after Christmas. So let me wish you all the happiest of holidays. Remind you the importance of making sure you're practicing safe social distancing. You're quarantining if you need to. You're getting your shots and wearing your masks. This is, because if you don't, then all of a sudden your new friend has to go off and fight necromancers. Or maybe just to get COVID or get somebody else sick, and that's not great.
I put a mask on. I don't understand. What's happening to me?
Sometimes life just isn't fair. But yeah, I guess that does it for now for us. I will be back on the channel Tuesday night. Keep an eye on the Monday meeting notes this week. There's probably going to be an announcement about a special science fiction double feature that's going to be happening on the solstice. Myself and Josh Deach, and they came from, and there's things we're planning. So we'll get an official announcement out to you soon. In the interim, I guess, be good to yourselves and each other. Get your shots, wear your masks, and have happy holidays. See you real soon.
Bye.